raise your hand if you felt the energies intensify over the last like 2 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. I know I did. And you might be wondering why I'm doing the August forecast on, what is it, like August 9th? Like, oh yeah, we're a third of the way through August. I'm going to come in and do my forecast now. Well, it's because I was taking a dose of my own medicine. And when your soul is telling you something, you need to listen. And my soul was shouting at me to pull back, take some time to reclaim my energy, reclaim my power. And so I did. I actually spent quite a bit of time completely off the grid, no cell service, no power, no electricity, nothing, deep in the forest with my loved ones. And it was amazing. And, it wasn't a typical camping trip. Typically, there'd be a lot of laughter and dancing and giggling, and there was that, but it was tempered with a lot of heavy feelings, some grief, some rage, and feelings that needed to be processed. And I think it's important for me to share that because I know that so many of you are feeling the same. Right? You might be feeling some contrast. You might be feeling some sadness or some anger or restriction or heaviness. And any of those feelings that you're feeling are totally valid, totally justified, and you are not wrong for feeling them. This is not the time to pretend to feel something different than we feel. What's important to understand with this energy is it's coming forth to be noticed, recognized, and acknowledged so that it can be transmuted. Now, August is an incredibly important month for this transmutation process. So if you're catching me live, catching me on the replay, let me know you're here. Comment, let me know you're here. I'm going to go through a little bit of what's already happened, but a lot of what's coming up so that you can understand what the energy is and what it's asking for you. You can understand how to lean into the energy that's coming up with your goals in your heart and in your mind so that you can really use them to serve your highest good. The energy that's unfolding right now is not here to hurt us, harm us, torture us, restrict us. It's not. It's actually here to bring to light some of the challenging situations that we're facing and asking us how we can transmute the energy. Now, you don't need to be an expert at everything in order to be a leader inspiring change. There are some people who are meant to be the warriors. There are some people who are meant to be the information seekers. There are some people who are meant to be the energy keepers, the wisdom keepers. There are some people who are here to do the energy work. There are some people who are here to be very vocal and expressive. And you likely know which one of those categories you fall into. Don't expect yourself to be everything to everyone, right? August has a 4 energy to it. Your leadership has the opportunity to shine, but that does not mean that you need to be the expert in everything. It means that you get to choose the area that you feel most aligned with, that sings in your heart and speaks to your soul, and you get to express there. So I hope this gives you a little bit of context and how to navigate what's coming up for you. My name is Megan Alton. I am a intuitive strategist and a numerology queen. And basically what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to help you to understand the energy cycles and patterns that are flowing all around us this month and what you can use them for. The contrast is not an accident. It's not on purpose, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but when I did my year ahead forecast, I said in the beginning of the year that this entire 2021 was all about helping us to be the people who lived our lives with our hearts set on fire and our souls free. So in order to be the person whose heart is set on fire and whose soul is free, we're going to have to see where there's restriction and contrast in our life. And we're going to have to decide how to navigate that. Now, if you saw the little short video I did yesterday to navigate around Lionsgate and the 8-8 energy and the 3 energy and the new moon and all the things that were happening yesterday, I said, build your bubble of bliss and create from there. This is important energy going into August for the entire month, because we actually have a lot of 8 energy. And what that means is, ask yourself, like, what am I devoted to? What am I dedicated to? What am I committed to? And how can I lean into that dedication, devotion, and commitment? How can I show up for what I want to see? That doesn't mean, can you guys still hear me with the kids chitter chattering in the background? Hopefully you can.
Why did you put a
Comment, let me know if you're here. I am just checking in to make sure I'm in the right place. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully I am. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the kids doing crafts in the other room. Okay. When the contrast feels as heavy as it does, it is so easy to get swept away by it, to get carried away by it, to get sucked in by it. Have you ever felt that feeling of getting sucked in by the contrast and the heaviness? That is not of service. It is not in your highest good to be distracted by chaos and contrast. It is in your highest good to notice it and decide, how am I going to contribute to the transmutation of this energy? How am I going to contribute to the energetic shifts that want to be occurring right now? Okay. Being the leader that you are here to be. You are here because you are a leader. You are here because you are meant to make a difference. This entire month of August is here to illuminate the type of leader that you are. This is where it was really important to recognize, what is my contribution and how do I lean into it even more? As leaders, we have responsibility to show up for our power. What is that expression? With great power comes great responsibility. You have a responsibility to be here for your vessel, your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, your soul. So that's the first takeaway for this month, is how do I show up, first of all, for myself? It's your job to create the life you want to live. It's your job to show up for yourself and contribute the energy that you want to experience in a day-to-day life. So I know that sounds really intangible, but it's not. So how do you want to live? When you ask me that question, I'm like, I want to live free. I want to feel connected. I want to feel adventure. I want to feel pleasure. I want to feel deep, soulful connections. That's what I want to do every day. So if I want to experience that every day, I need to give that every day. I need to source that within and share it in the world around me. And when I notice contrast that makes me feel a lack of freedom, a lack of connection, restriction, a lack of adventure, a lack of depth, shallowness, when I notice that, it's not on me to get swept away by the restriction, by the shallowness. It's on me to notice it. And then notice, where do I get to pull in more freedom, more connection, more pleasure, more adventure, and create from that way in a very simple day-to-day way, right? So in a very simple day-to-day way, because what's happening on a larger scale is simply a reflection of all the little bits and pieces of the micros, and we're all each a micro, right? So what can we do? So don't get lost in the contrast. Are you actively engaging in the energies that you want to experience? What are you dedicated to? Are you showing up for what you're dedicated to? With great power comes great responsibility. That was one of the things I said a few minutes ago. What are the responsibilities that you're taking to honor your power as a leader? What are those responsibilities? How can you lean into them even more? How can you take care of yourself even more? Take care of your family even more? Take care of your community even more? And all those little ripples in the world around you. This month, the paradox of growth is really strong. And I'm struggling to put this into words. So let me try and tell me if you're feeling what I'm putting down. We always have this idea that if I want to be making a difference with my work, growing my income, having more peaceful family dynamics, running a six-figure business, calling in the types of clients and projects that I want to work on. We always have this idea that if I want these things, I need to become someone and grow into someone and develop myself and get these skills and do these things. And there's a paradox to that, because while I'm not going to deny that growth is required, it absolutely is. It's also a stripping down and an unearthing to your core essence. Whenever I ask people, like, what do you want? And people will say, oh, I want a business that generates this income, or, oh, I want this type of lifestyle. And then I say, what do you need to be to have that? And they'll say things like, I need to trust more. I need to laugh more. I need to have more fun. I need to take more risks. I need to ground more. I need to spend more time with my loved ones. I need to write copy that converts. I need to have a better email sequence, like whatever it is. And even when you hear the thread of the list of things I said, all of that comes back to owning the truth of who you are. Because when you are true to yourself and you listen to your inner guidance system, you trust more. When you are true to yourself and you listen to your inner guidance system, you know how to take a calculated risk and feel safe doing so. When you are true to yourself and trust your inner guidance system, you express truth and authenticity, and people hear it and feel it and pick it up and want more of it. So they engage with you, they opt into your content, they purchase your products and services. When you speak that authentic truth that comes from the core essence of who you are, your ideal clients magnetize to you. You know who they are, and they know who you are, and you connect deeply. So there's a paradox here, because yes, there's some growing and evolving, but there's also some stripping down and trusting the soul that we were born to be is right and perfect and divine and sacred. You don't need to be something you're not. You don't need to be something you're not. In fact, what the world needs more of is people who are being true to themselves. We need you. We need you exactly as you are. We need your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole body, your whole soul, your whole spirit engaged in what you love, what lights you up, what brings you passion. Imagine what would happen if we had a world of people who all came to the table honoring their truths, honoring their inner guidance system, and lit up by their own passions. Do you think some of the conflict would melt away? Do you think some of the contrast would shift? So much of the contrast comes from a sense of fear, insecurity, questioning whether I'm okay as I am, whether I can trust myself to make the right decisions for myself. So August is about stepping into leadership. Leadership might mean leading on a broad scale, but it also means being a leader within your own life, leading according to the values you have, what matters to you, what your priorities are, and honoring that going forward. There are some significant dates I want to point out, some of which we've already gone past, right? Yesterday was a very significant date, but that doesn't mean it's done, right? We're actually still moving through some manifestation cycles because of that. Specifically from now until the 14th and the 15th. The 15th is going to be a very powerful day where if you can take this week from basically now until the 15th and you can actively engage in your truth, you will notice something shift in your life in a very powerful way. And then, okay, so the 15th is really important. It's a time to take a new step, start a new beginning, create an intention, plant a seed of the life you truly want to live. Starting on Monday, the 16th, this seed is going to grow. And in your growth, don't be lopsided, right? Don't be lopsided. A lot of us, when we focus on growth, we think of one or two things, right? And it's funny because whenever people ask me for readings, they usually ask a business question or a love question. I'm like, there's no other questions in the world besides business questions and love questions, if you ask my clients. That's all anyone wants to know, which is fine. If those are your top of mind things, amazing. That's great. Focus on that. But recognize that in this week, from the 16th to the 22nd, let your growth be balanced, not lopsided. So, for me, I notice that when I'm focused on my growth, I tend to go very internal and focus on me. So this week from the 16th to the 22nd, I'm actually going to focus a little bit more on my family unit. I'm going to focus a little bit more on creating some more balance there and bringing in my kids and my family so that I can grow and evolve that way, right? I can still honor the internal growth that I love to do. I can still focus on those other aspects, but I want to be more balanced and notice what I sometimes neglect. And then all this culminates on the 22nd with the full moon. And what I want to say about this full moon, it's an 8 energy full moon. Again, it's all about devotion and dedication to that which matters most to you. What matters to you and how do you show up for it? How do you show up for what matters to you? That is what is coming up on the 22nd, 8 energy month. And the message behind that is really to recognize the energy of the actions that I take is going to be contained within the results that I achieve. So the energy of the actions that I take is going to be contained within the results that I achieve. So say I want to be more organized with my money. That's one of my goals. If I budget from a place of scarcity of like, oh my God, I don't have enough money and oh my God, I'm going to run out. My result is going to be continuing to feel like I don't have enough money. If I can budget from a place of expansion, I'm going to create a result that also has that place of expansion. Does that make sense? It's really important to feel into what the outcomes are going to feel like and make sure you're taking actions from that place, especially around this full moon of the 22nd. You will also notice some evidence and feedback of some of the manifestations you've already been working on. So take note. Take note of the pieces you like and the pieces you don't like, and decide what you're going to do about it. It's just evidence. It's just evidence. So now what am I going to do about it? This is never a one and done. This is never a you get one shot, don't blow it. This is a constant shifting, iterative, evolving process where every day I get to choose. And if I fall off the wagon, have a bad day, get sucked into the contrast, it's okay. I get to wake up tomorrow and make a different choice if I want to, or not, or stay in bed, right? It's okay. It's totally okay. Either way, whichever direction you go, you are loved, you are supported, you are honored, you are not alone, you are needed, you matter, right? You matter. And the reason I want to reinforce that is because the energy you hold in your heart, even if you don't get out of bed, is part of what you're contributing to the collective. We feel it. We feel you. We feel you. You're not alone. We're all connected. As leaders, shifting and making changes, we are all connected to everything, to everybody. We all are. But you can lean into those connections that serve you and call on them to support you when you need it. Then going forward for the rest of the month on the 30th, it's kind of about taking a risk, taking a leap of faith, diving into something because it matters so much to you, because you can't not, because you want to see what happens when you devote your whole heart to something. You want to see how it can grow and evolve. So that is kind of high level, the energy of the month. I'm not seeing any comments, but on my phone, I see tons. So love the chatter. Thanks, Valerie. The chaos all around us, right? The chaos all around us, like in our personal lives, in the world, everywhere. And, as people who are deeply sensitive and deeply intuitive, which I know you are if you're listening, it can be overwhelming, and it can be easy to feel like, what can I even do? What can I even do? You know, for those of you who may or may not know, I live in British Columbia in a small town called Kelowna, and there's literally fires all around. People are losing their houses. The forest is burning. And my dad's on the fire lines. He's a firefighter. And so I'm getting, you know, the regular updates and everything like that. And I know a group of us came together, have been coming together consciously and maybe not consciously. I know there was a group that came together the other night and prayed for rain. And it's going to make me cry because I know they came together and prayed for rain. And that night, it rained so hard, it woke me up. I could hear it like coming down on the roof of my house. It rained so hard because some powerful leaders, healers, and intuitives from different places all over set the intention to come together and pray for rain. And you guys, it rained in a place that never rains in July. We don't get rain in July, which is why we're having the fires so bad now. With the way the climate has shifted, it doesn't rain here anymore in the summer. And it poured. It rained so hard that my kids' feet got muddy in puddles at the playground the next day. That's how hard it rained. And this is a real story of how people's energetic intentions, the way they engage with life, created a real tangible shift. You guys, because they prayed for rain and because it rained hard, some of the evacuation alerts were lifted. Some of the places that were told they were supposed to be having to leave at a moment's notice were told it was okay, they were safe. Because these people came together and prayed for rain. Don't ever doubt that the energy you hold in your heart has the power to change, shift, and make a difference. It does. And that's a tangible evidence of it. And I think that story really encapsulates how I want us, myself anyways, to move forward this month. If I know that, if I believe that, and I know that in my heart, then what energy am I going to engage with every day? I know I say this all the time, and sometimes people kind of get it on some levels and kind of don't on some, because we need proof and evidence. Well, there's the evidence. There's the evidence that what you're doing, it makes a difference and it's working. Making a change or a shift that is like turning around a barge or stopping a freight train, it requires consistent devotion and dedication. And we're going to have days when, you know, we give up or we get scared or we stop or we don't want to get out of bed. That happens. That doesn't change the fact that you've already created momentum. And in this month, that momentum is going to be palatable with an 8 energy full moon on the 22nd, 8 energy day on the last day of the month, which means your leadership is culminated by the dedication that you hold in your heart. What you do every day matters. You matter. What you do every day matters, and you matter. And it's okay, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Okay, I'm trying to look through my phone on the comments. Good. Okay, if I missed any of the comments, I'll try to come back to them. If you have any questions for me, let me know. What is the tangible takeaway from this month? What do I want to leave you with? The energy of your actions is contained within your results. As a leader, what you invest yourself in will appreciate. It will grow. So notice the contrast and choose what you want to grow and how you're going to invest your energy into it. It matters so much. And use the praying rain story as evidence that when we come together with an intention and we hold it in our hearts, it can make a massive shift. So what do you need to know? You need to know, what's the shift I want to create? And it can be as simple as a values word. It can be like freedom, love, peace, ease. Or it can be very specific, like I want a $100,000 business. I want a vacation with my kids. I want a day at the beach where the kids don't argue. I mean, I don't know. It can be anything. Hold it in your heart and then actively do the things to lean into it. Visualize it, pay attention to it, devote yourself to it, commit yourself to it. Hold it in your heart with the highest level of intention, and then watch it flow and manifest. And know that as you do so, you are embodying a leader, that other people are experiencing you and learning how they can start to create what they want by witnessing, observing you. You hold the energy, you hold the power to do so. So that's what I want to share with you today. One of the things that I thought I would talk more about, which I didn't, was the discipline that comes with 4. But I think with the 8 energy, there's a bit more discipline wrapped up in love, if that makes sense. Yes, you need to get up and drink your green juice and move your body and get a good night's sleep and show up every day. Not every day. Don't show up every day. Show up in the days you're inspired to show up. Follow through with the things that matter to you. Get your workouts in, spend your meditation, like do your meditations, do your card readings. That's the discipline. But don't bully yourself into it. Wrap yourself in love and then do what you're inspired to do. That's the 4 that wants to happen for the rest of August. So if you're in for that, let me know. Comment. Let me know you were here. I so appreciate you being here. I'm sorry that the comments weren't working. But I will come back in the chat and check in with you. And I just thank you so much for your presence on these calls. And I can't wait to share what September is going to have in store for us. September is a very important peak energy month. It's one of the most significant months that we've got for the entire year of 2021. So, for these next couple of weeks, use the energy and recognize that things are going to be ramping up for you in your service of your highest good. Sending you so much love.